You know, it occurs to me, I've worn this here Montana hat through several RV videos. I don't think I've ever worn it recording in Montana. Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan with my smexy Montana hat, as we've established, with the 12,650 pound Montana 3231 CK, which I think stands for Chef's Kitchen. This has a full-timer's dream kitchen in this thing. The way that they rearrange things, tell me two things you will never get too much of in an RV. For me, the answers there are prep space and storage. And this thing does both very, very well. If there was ever a fifth wheel that was going to have too much countertop space and storage space in the kitchen, it might be this one right here. They rearranged everything. They came up with something that is super unique, really fun, and really creative in some of the extra hidden storage that it offers. The RV, I think, is an absolute brilliant floor plan for full timing. Not just because it has a big, like when you're full timing, you're going to spend more time in the kitchen than just a casual camper. Like, I don't really need a camper with a big, serious kitchen, but I'm not full timing like somebody buying this thing might here. The other thing is when you are spending extended time, seasonal time in an RV, the extra space this one has in the bathroom, it has the 43% bigger bathroom that you sometimes find almost exclusively in the Montana high countries. You get that one here, and they churched it up and dressed it up a little bit, and it is done well. Now, of course, we have the warranty to cover full-time RVing. We've got the factory standard solar, the 6-point hydraulic auto leveling. We also have the new improved air conditioning system that I can't wait to talk about when we get in here, but I've rambled on enough. So as we go, leave me some notes. Let me know what you like about this one. Something maybe if you'd like to see differently, perhaps we have another option we can provide for you at Haylett RV. And if you haven't done so, hit the like button and subscribe to our videos because we always have fun stuff like this coming out. Let's get in there. And just to help you get your bearings and establish things here, if you walk in the door and look left, this big, beautiful, grand view right here is what you're going to see. Now, it could look slightly different. You could look at one of these with the darker fabric package on the two sofas. There's also the Cottage decor, which forces the darker sofas, but adds like a farmhouse-styled kitchen, which you actually get to see a sample of later in this video in the bathroom. And if you would like to see what this looks like with the Cottage decor, I will actually leave you a link to our 2021 footage of this, where we had one of these first in stock when they first came out in the Cottage, the look, as it were. Now, I'm kind of blasting past the living room real fast because I want to come back to this. I don't want to miss any of the stuff here, but I really, frankly, want to get to the kitchen first and foremost on this one because I think it is really like one of the main defining qualities of this RV. This is a beautiful living room. This super slide is awesome, but the fact is, there are plenty of other RVs, including other Montanas, that have like the exact same living room. So I think where I actually want to start is over here in the kitchen space, opening up everything in this area. So you get to see all the fun little unique qualities that this floor plan, kind of offers you right here. And now if you're like me, when I first saw this thing, I was like, ooh, that's got the eye candy right there. I mean, this giant like stovetop hood, this very home style looking feeling hood right here, it captivated me instantly. I love it when someone does something just a little bit different for a change. And Montana's very good about always pushing the envelope. But I'm very much a function over fashion person. Now, the thing with Montana is they always find a way to blend the two together. Because I looked at this and I said, it looks great, but what a stupid waste of potential storage space. What was stupid is that I thought Montana didn't think of that. Because of course they did. Because of course they did. It's not an accident. For over 20 consecutive years, Montana is and has been the #1 most popular luxury fifth wheel, #1 choice of full-time RVers out there. It's not like a residential vent hood like you think it would be. It's actually just a really nicely dressed up full cabinet space that you're getting on the wall here. Now, then I started thinking about it, because I know Keystone's some of their production methods, and I know that their engineers dislike having a centrally vented stovetop. That's why up here they include not one, but 2 of those max air vent fans. And you're like, why would they have 2 of them? You see that power junction box on the right-hand side over there? Montanas are one of the types of RVs that have the ability to be outfitted with 3 air conditioners. Well, if you sacrifice one of those vents and you end up going with a triple air conditioner system, you're not going to be exhausting all that cooking heat and, all the odors and things like that. So they include a second dedicated rain-sensing max air vent fan up there, so you always have the airflow that you need where you need it. It's different, but it's really well done, really well thought out, and the owners of this floor plan have been raving about it in things like owners forums. Now, stuff like easy reach outlets, Keystone, Cougar, Montana, they're very, very good at that. And you can really see that somebody who camps spends some serious time designing these things. Down below, we have that larger oven, because again, you might spend more time here. Did you notice that Peninsula extension countertop right there? All those drawers are actually built right into it. So if you need even more prep space around the kitchen, or if what you're trying to establish is a little bit more of what I call a one-butt kitchen, you can basically put up kind of a roadblock that says, no people, go around, get out of the way, I'm cooking here. This is the same island Montana uses in a lot of models. Like, if you're looking for something just a little bit shorter, you might look at the 3121 Montana, and any similar models I can think of that I've done videos on. I will leave you links in the video description where you're one click away from checking those out and seeing what other kind of opportunities might be there for you. Now, we saw there's already good drawer space right over in that extension Peninsula job there. But over here, you've still got your built-in wastebasket. You've got double drawer action. There's, again, easy reach outlets all over the place. And did you notice how instead of a farm sink or a split sink, they're actually giving you both? And there's going to be several instances of that through this video where Montana says, I like to do and instead of or, so that we really give you, more of the things you could possibly want instead of you having to settle or choose. Now, this might be throwing some people off because last year, Montana had even and odd model numbers where they were literally the exact same RV, but the even ones had a two-way fridge like this and the odd ones had a residential fridge. Well, that kind of changed a little bit for 22. And frankly, overall, I think it's a lot simpler and easier. Basically, everything's an odd number now. Everything defaults to a residential fridge, which has an inverter built in, which can help live power multiple outlets through the RV. I got to double check on this. I believe it's actually a 2K inverter, which is really awesome. It might be 1200. I need to verify that. I'll try to leave you a note somewhere on the screen here after I verify that, after I've recorded this, and you get the idea. Squirrel. So they're both 18 cubic foot. There's no cost variance between the two. You just get to pick, do you like the two-way fridge with the auto changeover regulator? Do you like the faster cooling power and the inverter function on the residential fridge? Now, for a big model like this, I could see some people, like, if you're not in it all the time, the two-way fridge is nice because if the park loses power while you're gone, it'll change over for you. I think a lot of people would probably go with the residential fridge, though, because this tends to be a bigger model that you're probably going to leave somewhere. And frankly, even if you do need to tow it and get it back and forth, that inverter function on some of those outlets that we'll talk about when we go through this as part of their Solar Flex package can be really, really handy. Now, one of the key things on a full Monty Montana, it's one of the very few divider lines between this and a high country, is that all of the cabinetry that you're looking at is a stained hardwood. It's not a sticker wrap style or rail. And full Montys get a convection microwave instead of just a conventional, but at least dinner plate, like large microwave. Now, if you're looking at this, you might be looking at it going, hey, wait a minute, there's no pantry. Or at least that was my first thought when I first looked at this one. I said, oh, okay, it's nice. We got a pretty good sized cabinet space up here. That's all cool. And what they did here is they reimagined what the pantry could be. Instead of a tall vertical pantry, they made a horizontal pantry. But all of the storage slides open to you, so you don't have to go digging through the thing. It's different. I think it's very cool, and the people who have owned this floor plan have said, yes, this actually works really, really well. One thing to mention here to you is if you don't like that horizontal pantry idea, if you're like, okay, that's fine, guy, but no, that's not for me. Jayco North Point has a very similar floor plan out now, which you lose a little bit of countertop prep space, but you are going to retain a traditional vertical pantry. So if that is more your preference, that is available. Now you see how there's storage around the television. You actually get to see a nice little look at my balding head reflecting off that thing in there. But you can see how the TV is going to be really easy viewing here, whether you're on the rear sofa or from the theater seat. And I think we've pretty much covered the kitchen space now. If there's something I missed or a question you have, leave me a comment and I'll try to cover that. But again, I do want to mention what they've created here is just an incredible amount of prep space. And remember, you have that Peninsula that can slide open over there as well. And they put outlets all around all of the prep space to make everything easy to reach. And tell me, that is not begging for an electric griddle right there, making a big giant like bacon and pancakes breakfast. That sounds good to me. Now, down below here, we have our electric space heat and Tootsie toaster. Then, again, as we slide up here, it doesn't really matter which angle the TV's pointed at. When you're sitting here at the theater seat, you always got a pretty good angle on this thing. But most of the time, I'm pretty sure this is how you're going to see it. It's absolutely what I like to call a no-neck wrecker entertainment center. Now, I mentioned how we have an electric heater down there. That is 5,120 BTUs of heating power. What you may not be aware of is what's up top here. And there's actually a couple awesome things to talk about rapid fire. First of all, that air conditioner has a 16,500 BTU electric heat pump built into that, which uses the AC ducting and fan to help disperse that heat through the RV. So you have a living room dedicated heater, you have a whole house kind of heat supplement unit there, and the RV has 12-volt tank heater pads to help you get through the really cold weather, and an amazing weather package. Now, most of the time though, for summertime use, what else you're going to like is also what's here in the ceiling. We saw the two like max air vent fans for the kitchen. That ceiling fan is 12 volt powered, just like those max air vent fans, which is really nice if you're gonna do some driveway mooch stacking, you're just on the batteries or something like that, or you just, you're parked in the middle of nowhere and don't always have shore power hookup. The other thing is the new Blade Pure AC system that they have here in some of the more premium Keystone units. They've added more vents. You have like a hurricane-shaped vent cover on that, and what that's doing is pulling more air out of the ducting and getting it down here with less noise more quickly and effectively and efficiently. Long story short, they improved the air conditioner, made it quieter, and made it cool even faster while still sticking with a pair of 15,000 BTU air units. They didn't have to make it bigger to make it better. They just kind of almost literally reinvented the mousetrap, as it were. Oh, I forgot a chunk of storage up here, and as long as we're looking at that, one of the other things I'd like to point out here is how a full Monty Montana has dual section day-night shades all the way around. Now, you may have kind of peeked those as I've moved through here. That is an extra wide, like a 3 adult-sized sofa on the back, which is totally cuddalicious, mind you, in case, you want to snuggle up with a loved one, or, I don't know. I know that my mom would love to have the grandkids all piled around her right there. She'd be in just absolute hog heaven doing that. Household and USB outlets on both sides of that mean even a guest sleeping over, instead of, not just grandkids, but even an adult guest has places to charge phones, plug in a CPAP machine. Then again, I'm not going to lie and say that hide-a-bed is the most comfy thing in the world. I've spent a weekend on one. I can attest to how comfortable they are or are not. They're okay. But you also don't want people staying too long. That's why you didn't get a bunkhouse, right? Power recline theaters here with heat and massage, and all of the windows, they all open for airflow, and they're all over here on the door side of the RV, giving you an amazing view of your campsite. Or, and tell me I'm not the only one that does this. When you have windows over here and someone's pulling in the sight behind or beside you, tell me you don't stick to the windows and just sit there and watch them back in. Like, that's your entertainment for the day. And every now and then someone's really good at it, but every now and then someone's not, and you're just like, oh boy, these guys are in trouble. Now, as long as they're not going to smash anything, I tend to leave them alone, but if they're going to hurt themselves or someone else, I'll jump out and help them. Usually they appreciate it, usually. Now, notice, that is a no-knee knocker, and this is not carpet. It is all like a vinyl-ish type material. In case you spill something, you don't want to leave it there, but you can clean it right up. Now, again, it's primarily a couples rig, but you do have a pair of fold-away guest chairs that could hide in the front closet. They could hide under the bed. You could leave them in the pass-through. You could leave them at home.
You don't want them at all? You could leave them with me. I'd probably find some use for them. The slide outs here. One of the cool things on these is they are a full 6.5 foot easy walk-in height, and I think a better way to demonstrate that is if I actually stand my balding 5 head inside one of these things. So keep this in mind when we get into the shower in a minute, because the shower is really the same height. The entire upper deck is 6.5 foot tall like this. I'm about 6'3" for reference, and even if I tiptoe an ET phone home stretch, my little, balding 5 head peach fuzz can't quite reach the ceiling panel up here. Maybe back when I had hair I could do it. And it's funny, sometimes people will come see us in person and be like, "You're not as tall as you say you are in your videos." I'm like, I got bad posture, And a couple other quick details before we jump into this giant mega bathroom. First of all, down here, we have our central vacuum hookup. What's awesome is you're going to see another one of those later. You actually have a central vac hookup space like in the pass-through, in case you want to use it outside to clean some garbage up if need be. And that little rectangle, couldn't figure out what I wanted to say, so I said something stupid that doesn't exist. It's a rectangle, which is a breakfast rectangle. Don't know. Anyway, sounds like toast. We've got, oh God, I'm an idiot. Why do I do these things? I just keep talking. No wonder my wife drinks. Oh crap, I'm still recording. Okay, down at the bottom, you've got the electric dustpan. We're just gonna roll with this. We're gonna do it live. If you just toe kick that up, this whole carpetless living room, you can just sweep everything right into it. You don't even gotta haul out all the hoses or anything. And this right here is actually what I wanted to really show you. Just a simple little space to hang a couple jackets or dog leashes or something right by the door. And you're actually going to see, when we go outside, I'm going to talk about a couple other little pet-friendly features Montana has. Now, when you're in a full Montana, you have this nice privatized command center there, and our 12-volt ceiling fan switch is up there. If you go to a legacy model, though, you will actually swap that out for a full-on in-command system, and you don't even need to use a touchscreen. You can actually program it from your phone. Now, remember I said we're going to get a little kind of sneak peek at the cottage decor. The bathroom will always have the cottage wood tones. And I actually kind of like that because it's the smallest room in the RV, and it does help lighten and brighten everything up, which makes it all look and feel a little bit bigger. But again, that's kind of what the kitchen could look like. And if you'd like to see the kitchen in cottage, then take a look at our 21 footage. Now, again, what we're looking at here is a 43% larger bathroom than what you traditionally find in a Montana fifth wheel. That means all of the leg room, shoulder room, hip room, everything in the world. You can do some serious bathroom toilet yoga in this thing and have room to spare. Now, as we come over here, remember when I was standing in the slide out downstairs? It's 6.5 foot tall down there. You're going to see the exact same thing true up here in the master bathroom area. It is 6.5 foot tall in this upper deck, whether it's the bathroom or the bedroom. Means you've always got plenty of room there. The clear door in the shower makes everything look and feel even larger. The whole shower fixture, by the way, is a molded one-piece fiberglass fixture. What that means is it is very robust, very strong, very good at handling American-sized individuals, in case you're like me and you've been packing on the extra pounds, as it were. Now, over here on the right side, one of the other things I want to make sure you got to see is in a full Monty, Montana, you get that nicer height-adjustable shower hardware, which my wife and I would appreciate, because we're about 11.9 inches different in total gravity friendliness. And the kitchen's not the only thing in this one that has some pretty sweet storage. So I see a lot of bathrooms, even in some big fifth wheels, and I start looking at them going, okay, if I was going to even use this thing casually, let alone as a full-time RV option, where would I keep things like towels? Could I keep a wastebasket in the bathroom? Would I have room for, shampoos and body washes and medications and things like that? The short answer in this one is that you are probably very likely to have some room to spare. And part of the reason for that is because of these vessel sinks that they've recently swapped to. Since the sink doesn't have to occupy any space under the counter, and I think there's obviously plenty of good, easy reach, easy function counter space right there, they were able to provide more storage below the countertop line, which is, when is more storage ever the wrong answer, really? And finally, the bedroom here. Now, full Monties, they come with a TV straight across from the bed standard. You don't have to add that after the fact or anything. It's nothing that we added there just for display purposes. But if you look at it, and I'll get you a little bit better angle on this in just a minute, it's actually downward angled so that it's not, even in the bedroom, you don't really have like a neck wrecker entertainment. Now, if we look up top, once again, you see that Blade Pure air conditioner system. And now that we're closer to it, let me get you a little bit better view of those like vortex looking vents that I mentioned. The idea there is sort of like if you've ever drained a bathtub or a sink and you see how it turns into like a little underwater tornado and all the water drains out of it. Well, that's kind of what's going to happen here with the air. It's going to suck the air out of those vents. And that air conditioner looks a little bit different, right? That's because it actually uses a residential filtration system. So, you know, if you're camping in a place that's kind of dusty or whatever, it can help keep a lot of that crap contained. So you're breathing better. You're not inhaling near as much of that. Now, the bedroom here, we start taking a look at all the storage, is pretty common as far as Montanas go, but that's certainly not a knock against them. We are prepped and ready for a stackable washer and dryer. That's obviously something we can assist you with here, but look at the detail of the front closet. You have a built-in laundry hamper. You have like a shoe rack in there. You have basically full storage over here below the master bed. And one of the things that changed fairly recently in RV codes is manufacturers are able to include a little bit deeper bed slide now compared to where they were sometimes not able to in the past. So up here, we are still completely carpetless flooring. It is easy cleaning, and we just have more space to move around. The 70 by 80 king bed that we're looking at is surprisingly still optional, even here in a full Montana. You can, order one of these with a queen. That being said, I think by default, almost any place anywhere is going to have them with a king in stock, just due to common demand. Breeze windows on both sides of the bed, and look at even the Cyclops window up front here. Notice how even in the master bedroom, they still maintain the use of the 2-section day-night shades right there. And it's those kind of extra little details that Montana does that not everyone does. And it's smart. It's the touches, you know. It's like the way that they have the thermostat for the front air conditioner in the room with the air conditioner so that you have more effective front-to-back kind of zone heating and cooling, even though they are sharing ducting. Household and USB outlets built right here into the bed, and I've done personal, sit-ups and crunches and side bends and everything, and I found that I do not hit my head on those things. Can they be a reach? Yes. Are they awesome? You tell me. I don't know. I'm not an owner of a Montana. I'm just some dorky nerd from the Midwest with a camera flashing around this thing. But it's the touches. It's the little touches, like how all of our ceiling lights in the bedroom area here, they're just on an easy reach switch. And it makes sense where it's located. You don't have to walk in and like twist around the left of the RV, and if the slide box is closed, you can't get to it. It's just there's so much more human thought and human element put into this. And with the slides closed in road mode, we see that this Montana has basically the same access here that almost any Montana has, and that is to say, very good access. You can get, obviously, to the bathroom, the bedroom, without touching the slide button, since the door is right over here on the hallway side of the RV. And, like virtually every Montana, something they are very good about is having not just okay, but like full refrigerator access with the slides closed. And it doesn't matter which refrigerator you get. They make sure that the island's not blocking it, that a slide doesn't block it. You can walk your way right in here. And as an added bonus, if for some reason down the line, years from now, you need to replace the refrigerator for any reason, they make sure that their floor plans are designed to get the fridge out the door. You don't have to literally have a slide taken out of the wall to get a fridge out of this thing for service purposes, which is something that I can tell you from many years of past experience, not every manufacturer does. And if you appreciate those kind of extra tidbits of information and showing you the RV with the slide closed, hit that subscribe button. Let's hop outside and keep rolling, baby.
And I talk about it in some of my previous videos, but I did it again this morning. I feel like an idiot. Every time one of these new Montanas rolls in, I keep going, ooh, that must be a custom ordered unit. It's got that fancy paint package on it. And then I realize it's not paint. That's just the exterior package that comes on the Montanas now. They They have themselves an absolutely incredible look on these things currently. Now, because we have that extended upper deck with that extra large bathroom, they were able to apply a huge forward power awning on this thing, plus you still have the second awning on the rear slide. I mean, you got incredible patio space on this. And something else they are still doing on these awnings, I don't know that I've talked about it enough this year, are the little power channels on these awning arms. So if you've ever seen, there's some kind of like residential track lighting where sometimes you can just add some lights and point them different directions. That's sort of what we're looking at right here. But there's lights, there's fans, there's Bluetooth exterior speakers. There's a whole host of accessories that you can apply to those things. Now, when I got up here, did you notice just the gleam and the gloss on that skin? How it just, I mean, it's gorgeous. And this is, again, the standard exterior. I think the only problem with the new exterior on these is it's probably going to reduce the number of paint package Montanas people want to buy, because I don't think you need to paint it up to make it look absolutely stellar anymore. Now, the baggage doors here, it's very cool. We have double slam latches, we have double magnetic holdbacks, but frankly, that's rank and file stuff that almost every manufacturer does today. Montana always finds a +1 though. If you live in wind country, you could add gas struts to this so that you don't got to worry about wind pulling the door down. But you also don't necessarily have to worry about that either, because they have a magnetic locking hasp right there, a clasp or a catch or whatever you want to call it, that the door basically can't fall until you manually release it. Now, if you notice down here, that I-beam actually drops down. It's like a Z chassis. Very common in big, giant luxury fifth wheels, but what it creates, especially with the longer upper deck on this one, is just a ridiculous storage compartment. This thing is absolutely huge, and, I mean, just to give you an idea how big it is, check this out. Who else does this kind of stuff for you guys? So, we talked about it inside in the shower. I'm like 6'3"-ish. I'm probably, I'd like to say under 200 pounds right now, but I know that's a lie with the way I've been eating like a dumpster lately here. But neither here nor there. This is massive. If I ever get in trouble with my wife, I got a really cool place to hang out down here. And there's a couple key things I want to point out for you, I suppose, as long as we're down here. And by the way, even with my long legs, you notice how I'm not even touching the front like bulkhead wall on this thing? It's massive. So just to help you get your bearings, there's the entry steps. We're over here on the door side of the RV. The rear wall, I guess you'd say, has TV hookups, as well as your, you have a central vac connect point out here in case you need to, like, you know, clean things up, and pool cleaner down here. That's all set to go. You've got motion lighting through the pass-through. Now, you can turn that off or on, but you can also leave that in motion mode, like a refrigerator door, which is handy. Now, that right there, that vent is basically just to kind of let things breathe back there. But one of the reasons it's there is if we look up top, you actually have a forced air heat duct pumping hot air down here into the basement, which can then bleed through that vent to help heat and protect the backside of the docking center, which is what we're looking at over here. Now, this is the base solar package that they offer. It is inverter ready, but it's really cool that they're doing that, and they're making it easy to access. There's actually several other manufacturers out there who are inverter prepping their RVs, but they're not doing it in a way that's like easy to access or easy to find. Montana is making that simpler. No matter what, we've got our Victron charge controller over here, which means it is lithium friendly. The basic Solar Flex package is a 15 amp controller. It comes with a 200 watt panel that we've already kind of peeked at on the roof in our floor plan in a flash. And I'll get you back up top there in a little bit to see that in a little bit more detail. But there are far more advanced solar packages. And to learn about those, I will leave you a link in the video description where I've actually gone through and done an outline on the entire Solar Flex family so that maybe you could see which one works best for you. So working our way out here past the safety locking baggage door. The one thing that actually kind of surprised me a little bit on this is under the skirting between the entry door and the baggage door, I almost for some reason expected to see a gas grill quick connect right there. I don't know why. There's nothing that says there should have been one there. I just sort of thought I would see one there, but I guess neither here nor there. Not the first time I thought wrong about something. Obviously, you know, these big 4 steps, because this is a big fifth wheel, these things can weigh a lot. So it's nice that they give us the, you know, easy gas strutted version right here, which is obviously one-hand operable. If my chicken arms can do it, so can you. Little details, though. I don't know about you, but my family, we love dogs. We are dog people. We are pet camping people. So having the little screen protector right here, screen door protector, so that if the dog scratches at it trying to tell us it's time to go outside, it's nice that they're not scratching the screen door. And then there's little things like this. Montanas, Cougars, they actually come with, like, you know how a lot of times you could add that aftermarket bar to pull the big door shut? You don't have to do that here, but that's also the screen door handle, and that is an anti-slam door. So you can fling that sucker and it doesn't go smashing into anything. Now, once again, the entry door and the slides in the lower deck are 6.5 foot tall. That's a nice 30-inch wide entry door too. So, and again, it is, American sized. How about that? It is buffet friendly, baby. Apologies for the quick break there. My cell phone rang, and normally I ignore that during my videos, but it was my grandmother who recently had her 5th knee replacement and is currently at a assisted care facility doing some rehab very close to my house. And, you know, your grandma calls you, you know, you pick up the phone. And everything's okay before anybody gets worried. Everything was fine. We were just, she's just confirming that we're going over to visit tonight. Being so close, we like to try to get over there 3-4 times a week to see her. Look at that. Look at that. Tell me that is not gorgeous. Look at that thing. Oh my Lord. Now up front here, this is one of several nice ride and handling features that they have in these, the Road Armor shock dampening pin box. What this will do is it articulates a little bit. Like, you can't do it by hand. Like, it's basically a giant rectangular hockey puck kind of rubber material in there. But when you've got this, 12,650 pound empty before cargo beast behind you, and you're rolling up and down the roads, hopefully your roads are better than ours in Michigan. Good gravy. Anybody else live in a place where they're like, the politicians every single year are like, we're going to fix the roads, and you're like, you're lying. Every single election season in Michigan, one of the individuals' platforms is that they're going to fix the roads. It never happens. I don't know where those tax dollars go. I know it doesn't go into fixing the roads. Sorry. I don't want to start a whole debate. Please don't get all revved up about that, but I know that it can't be just Michigan. Anyway, we see the 6-point hydraulic automatic leveling system right here, and notice where those jacks specifically are located, on either side of the tires. That means that when you get the jacks down at your destination, it will be very sturdy, very stable for you. Now, we already kind of in the pass-through, but we only kind of looked at the back of the docking center, and I don't think I need to sit here and tell you what's included in this since they were handy enough to label it for us. But one key thing I do want to point out there is you do still have a side mount solar prep plug, so that if you want to park in the shade and then chase the sun, this RV allows you to do that. Now, the RV we're looking at today has the 2-way refrigerator, so we are looking at the back of the fridge vents right there. The residential refrigerator model, you won't see those kind of things. And oh my Lord, once again, oh my Lord, that looks good. Now, as we back up here, take a look at the taillights that are coming into view right about meow. They've got some very large, bright reverse travel elements in them, so other drivers on the road can see what you're doing. We also have down here a 3,000-pound towing hitch with 300-pound tongue weight, in case you want to use it just for like accessories or whatnot. You see the safety chain hooks. You see the wiring harness up and to the right of that, so that if you got a little cargo pod or a small enclosed trailer, if you live at a place that allows for recreational doubles towing, you can do that nicely and safely. All of the windows over here on the door side of the RV, and I'm actually ducking under a pine tree currently, which there you go. I'm getting pine needles stabbed in the neck to get you this footage, guys. I do my own stunts. I hope you appreciate it. And all of the windows on this thing, all of the windows, once again, over on the door side of the RV, just to give you some amazing views of your site, so you don't got to look at somebody like me who's packing on pandemic poundage and sweating to the oldies at their picnic table over on the other side of the RV. You know, the weatherman gets it wrong sometimes, or the weather person. We do have a weatherman locally here. They were predicting rain, sleet, and snow today. And the sunshine's coming out, and I, for one, am personally thankful for it. And Lord, is it nice to see inventory on the lot again. Anyway, Up top here on our nice fully walkable roof, first of all, let's start off with our TV antenna, which is what the little bucket head job is over here. Thing is, though, that also on the inside, there's a little white rubber thing. If you pop that off, there's a little plug on it. You can get the Winegard Connect Gateway, whatever there's too many RV manufacturers and too many accessory manufacturers. I can't remember their specific name for it, but long story short, they have like an LTE Wi-Fi upgrade thing that you could apply to this. Now, remember in the kitchen, we have the double ceiling vent fans for a very good reason. If you option this RV with the third air conditioner, that vent goes away. But because the stovetop does not vent out the side of the RV, they always wanted to make sure you can get that hot cooking air out of there. They went a little heavy with the goop gun on that one. We're going to have to go through and clean that up. But that's the kind of stuff we do for a Haylett RV. No additional charge. We don't charge you extra for prepping and checking the RV or cleaning it or showing you how it works. That's all part of the price tag. Now, once again, this is the 200-watt basic solar flex package. I know I mentioned this a lot lately, guys, but if you are interested in learning about Keystone's solar flex platform, please check the link in the video description where I've already created like a full outline video of it specific to Keystone Solar Flex, so I don't have to bury that into every single one of our videos and just bore you to tears any more than I normally do. By the way, pro tip, mute me and then speed up the video. My wife tries to do that daily in real life. So once again, thank you so much for hanging out with us another time here at Haylett RV. We're family owned and operated. We don't do pesky hidden dealer fees. We just do everything else. Again, if you haven't done so, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot of fun new things coming out this year for you. Not just RV videos, but tips, tricks, helpful, information, kind of state of the industry new stuff. All sorts of things always coming out. Again, I'll leave you a link for pricing and availability in the video description. You could always check that stuff out. You never have to call. We'll either have current pricing or at least our last known MSRP published for you. And any other questions you have, drop me a note and I'll do my best to follow up and answer on those. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.